Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach Hardy. This is my review on the August 25th, 2014 edition of WWE Monday Night Raw. A lot of shit happened in this episode of Raw. My computer keeps being a cock, so just bear with me here. I know the computer doesn't want it. So we had a bunch of, things happen in the night. A lot of, confusing parts, a lot of things that actually made sense. Something that really made my point, which I honestly didn't think the WWE would go that way with, but I thought it would be, I thought they could, as well, but I didn't really want to believe, well, I wanted to believe it, but I didn't really think it would happen, which was the Roman Reigns thing. If you saw my video earlier, if you're new to this channel and you're watching this video for the first time, you're not subscribed, remember to subscribe. You're going to love these videos, and also remember that there is another video that came out just before this one. It talked about what I thought would happen with Seth Rollins. Yeah, I made a lot of corny jokes in that one, but I was still on my game, and it actually ended up coming true. Well, for the most part, it ended up coming true. So let's get into it. So we go live. We start the show with the WWE Hall of Fame Forum with Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, and Shawn Michaels. They talk about John Cena and about his chances of facing Brock Lesnar or beating Brock Lesnar. Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair are, they're disagreeing with Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan thinks that Cena can do it. Shawn and Ric think, that they don't think it can do it. They don't think that it's possible, which kind of makes me think that John Cena is going to beat Brock Lesnar, especially with how the night ended. But I mean, we gotta, we'll see later on. And then Cena comes out and he says, I'm not going to Night of Champions to beat Brock Lesnar. I'm going to beat Brock Lesnar's ass. Could have worded it differently, just to have it make more sense. But anyway, then we had the promo for WCW Monday Nitro on the WWE Network, which will appear next week for just $9.99 a month. Plug number 1. First match, Jack Swagger versus Rusev. Contested pretty well. Jack Swagger locked in the ankle lock twice. And what ended up happening, pardon me, right here. Don't pay attention to that music in the background. So Swagger locked in the ankle lock twice. Rusev didn't even lock in the behind the back thing, the Rusev submission thing, and I thought Swagger had him, but I guess he didn't. And so you'll hear about Swagger later on in the video. But Rusev ended up winning by TKO after just stomping on Jack Swagger to the point where the referee had to call the bell to make sure, just to make sure nobody got hurt. I know it's scripted, but it's always crazy when you kind of see those things happen. And you've seen it happen 2 weeks in a row, which is something you don't see, and doesn't happen, very often. Let's see. Here we go. Jack Swagger's in the training room getting his ribs iced. Bo Dallas comes in and gives Swagger a condescending pep talk, then pisses Swagger off. Well, that pisses Swagger off. And, he retaliates later on in the show. Then it's RVD versus Cesaro for the number 1 contenders match for the United States Championship. Sheamus is at, the United States Champion is at commentary is at the commentary table for the match. I don't know what it's about what it is with Rob Van Dam, but I'm hearing that people are saying that he's being written off or something. I don't know if it's a movie or if he's getting released or if he's getting suspended or something like that. I don't know why I would say suspended, but I'm kind of confused as to what that means because I don't really have a clear answer on that. So I can't tell you why. If you want to know, try to go on to Dalyxman's channel. Leave into the comments below if he doesn't in his review of tonight's Raw. Leave in the comments below saying that I sent you there, and if he doesn't mention why RVD is being written off or whatever, leave in the comments that I sent you and that question. Maybe he'll be able to answer it. But I guess RVD is supposed to be being written off or something for some reason. I don't know. But anyway, he's facing Cesaro. Cesaro wins. I wasn't really watching the match at this point. I was doing something else. But I knew that Cesaro won, and I think they had something with Sheamus and Cesaro in a face-off, more like they do most of the time. I don't give a damn about this download shit. I don't care about Java. Fuck you. Okay, so afterwards, the announcers put over the Attitude Era week on the WWE Network, which will take place next week and features some famous Raw episodes from the Attitude Era, some Monday Night Nitro, and other goodies. And WWE Network, just $9.99 a month. That's also something that comes back to bite WWE Network in the asses. I know in Canada, even though I live in Connecticut, I know in Canada it's not $9.99, it's $12.99. So I wonder how that's gonna pour over in Canada. But anyways, afterwards, Paige skips to the ring for her match, which after comes a commercial. And you know me, I've kind of got a crush on Paige. I'm not afraid to admit it. You know, everybody has one of those countries. One of those crushes. Anyway, so Paige versus Natalya is up next, and right away, the first move that is made in this match, Paige, I think it was like a forearm to Natalya's face. I didn't see it when it first happened, but I watched the replay. Her, like, the lower half of her forearm connects right with this part of Natalya's face, which is like the bottom of the orbital bone, you know, the side of the nose, of the bone in your nose, you know, the top of your cheekbone. That's something that could really fuck up your facial features. And it was a really hard hit, so I kind of felt bad for Natalya. Yeah. But anyways, afterwards, I think Natalya locks in the sharpshooter twice, I believe. I believe Paige locked in her move once, or a submission move once. Paige ended up winning after, I think, like, did she get her tap out or something? No, I think she pinned her. But, yeah, she pinned her. So Paige beat Natalya, and then AJ comes out, you know, distracts Paige while she's skipping around the ring. They're trying out crazy each other. It's obvious now. Paige turns around. Natalya does that. I've got a swivelly chair so I can do this. Whoa. That clothesline where she twirls around and then, you know, clotheslines the shit out of her neck. And then AJ gets in the ring. She says, I think she said, like, oh, Paige, my English muffin or something like that. It's strange how, you know, since Paige is British, there are so many ways that people in America, much like what AJ Lee is doing right now, to find ways to fuck with somebody who's British. Like the English muffin, crumpet, pale chick. That obviously describes Paige. But there are a bunch of things, and I think AJ Lee's trying to hit on all of those, you know, those counterparts. No, I shouldn't say that. No, whatever. But anyways, she gets her typical frenemy promo shit, and then AJ like slowly gives Paige a hug, trying to be like, "Don't kick my ass." And I think Paige is like, "Get away from me. You're breathing down my neck. It's uncomfortable." As she does that, like, AJ kisses her on the hand, and then Paige is like, she's confused. She's looking around, but it kind of, you know, it starts getting Paige a little bit disturbed, and I wouldn't really blame her. It seems like whoever is the champion, whoever is the challenger, is the one who's like, is the mindfuck one. Like, is the one that's, like, the more crazy out of the two. But I guess that's how the WWE wants to work it, so hey, I'm not going to really complain. Alright, this is probably my favorite part of the night. Kane comes out to the ring for the Dean Ambrose eulogy. And then introduces Seth Rollins, who decked out in the black-on-black look. God damn it. They made it sound like Dean Ambrose died. Throughout the night, It sounded like he died. You'll never see him ever again. It's like one of those movies you see, like, you'll never get your kids back again. But in the end, he comes back, obviously. So Dean Ambrose is going to do the same. But yeah, he has this picture of this, like of him in the middle of the ring. And then he says that he was the true leader of the Shield, and that he picked Ambrose for the Shield, and that reason was because he was a courageous fighter. However, he had to prove to Ambrose that the Authority always wins, and apparently that's how he had to prove. And I kind of believe him, because if Dean and Seth were to both tell each other or the fans that they really didn't want to have to do that, I kind of believe it. Because if they were still in the Shield, they were partners for so long, and it's like, I didn't want to have to do this to you, but you leave me no choice. And that's kind of what's fucked up about it. And I'm watching this show, and it's disturbing. Anyways, afterwards, he says that, the fans were the ones who decided Dean Ambrose's fate. It wasn't his fault, whatever. And then, anyway, after he says that he destroyed he built the Shield, so he deserves to destroy it. Then out of nowhere, what I was trying to find out, and I know what Dalyxman was trying to find out, and I believe the next time you see the Night of Champions review, or the next time the casual viewer comes on for Dalyxman's videos, he'll be like, alright, now we've got all three members of the Shield involved. Because before it was only two, and the other guy was doing, Roman Reigns was doing his own type of shit. Now Roman Reigns is getting pissed at Seth Rollins because Ambrose is not there. And this is what I was talking about in my last video. I talked about what Seth Rollins was going to do now that Ambrose is going to be out, probably past the Night of Champions pay-per-view. And I talked about how, since the WWE wants Roman Reigns to be their champion, at WrestleMania, at least that's what I've heard, what I thought was Roman Reigns could face Seth Rollins for the Money in the Bank contract at Night of Champions. While Dean Ambrose is out, Roman Reigns would win the briefcase, which would then entitle him to a match whenever he wanted, which means Brock Lesnar could face whoever he wanted if he were the champion, which I'm pretty sure he will be, at WrestleMania 31, and then Roman Reigns cashes in that Money in the Bank and becomes the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. That was my analogy. And it turns out that it pretty much started up tonight. I'm glad that I put it out earlier. Kane goes out of the ring, and Reigns and Kane start a brawl, and then Reigns gets in the ring and pummels down on Seth Rollins, and then Kane and Rollins retreat, so then that sets up a 2-on-1 handicap match later on in the night. Afterwards, Goldust and Stardust have one of their usual, the key or whatever, cosmic key, crazy promos. And then we have Goldust and Stardust versus the Usos for the WWE Tag Team Championships. Both teams are going at it. Goldust and Stardust do the craziest, get out of the ring type move. And ended up being the Rhodes brothers beating the Usos, but by countout, because apparently Uso Crazy hurt, I believe, Jay's leg. And so he wasn't able to get back in the ring for the 10 count. And so Stardust and Goldust got upset because, that was their one chance at the title match. They demanded a rematch, and then they attacked the Usos, which turned Goldust and Stardust heel, which means they're a bad guy now. So I'm pretty sure that's going to set up for an Usos versus Goldust and Stardust tag team match for the titles at Night of Champions. I think that's where they're going to go with it. And I think now, with Dalyxman's point of him thinking that Stardust would, take it out of control and turn on Goldust, well, that kind of all goes out the window now that they're both heel, so it doesn't really work anymore. But, nonetheless, that was pretty unexpected. I honestly didn't expect that. When he said, I wanted a rematch now, and that kind of tone of voice, I was like, oh boy, they're going to turn him heel. Yep, they turned him heel. So, much like my expectations, that's what happened. Afterwards, Kane and a pissed off Rollins plot against Roman Reigns. They book each other in a handicap match against Roman Reigns. They're going to end their business tonight. Then there's an interview with Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman, how Brock Lesnar was going to take it easy on John Cena now because that he's offended that he cashed in his rematch clause. So then afterwards we have Dolph Ziggler, which apparently was supposed to be Dolph Ziggler versus The Miz, but now you have your latest character from him. Dolph Ziggler ends up facing Damien Mizdow. So Damien Sandow turns out to be The Miz's stunt double, and fights in this week's character. So Dolph Ziggler beat Damien Mizdow by pinfall, and then here we go with the Bella Twins segment, and if they were going to start a brawl, they should have had Nikki wear something a little bit more appropriate. I mean, not saying that it wasn't appropriate because the skirt was long, so it wouldn't have been inappropriate had it been a brawl. But, something longer, so that way that wardrobe malfunction hadn't happened, even though it did. I probably had at least one perverted person watching this video who's going to be like, GIFs, pics, Google, now. So, obviously, there's going to be one of those guys. If this video gets any views. But anyway, Jerry Lawler's in the ring to moderate the Bella segment. He introduces Nikki, who moves her chair farther away from Bree's chair. Bree is then introduced, and then Nikki's like, you couldn't have gotten your own theme music, and then Bree tries to, coincide with her, and then she talks about how, what is it? Personal crap, that personal crap that nobody really cares about. I personally think, it wasn't that great. It was okay, but I think Nikki Bella did a better job on the microphone than Brie Bella did, tonight on Raw. Brie starts saying all this emotional, personal stuff. Throw that away. And then Nikki says, that's the biggest load of bullshit or something that I've ever heard. And then she starts ripping on Brie for a long time. And she says her apology was the biggest load of crap that she has ever heard. And then she talks about how everyone should know the real Brie. And then Nikki says multiple times, I'm so done, 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 with a bunch of shit that I didn't even bother writing down. So, here we go. Yep. She says, she's so done with everything, starts ripping on everyone, starts ripping on the people, apparently, I'll list it through the list that's, gone. I think it was talking about, she said, all you sick men with your twin fantasies that you can't get because you're too fat to even try, or something like that. Then she says, I'm so done with your troll-faced husband, Daniel Bryan. And then, she's so done with Brie, her hair, her whatever. And then, she started referencing the various handicap matches that, because Brie quit, Nikki got, punished for it. And then Jerry Lawler tried to break it up, and Nikki says, stay out of it, old man, who has to hightail it out of the ring. And then, she says, as far as I'm concerned, I have no sister. I wish you died in the womb. Now, even for a script, that's fucked up. And then afterwards, Nikki starts to beat on Brie. And for those sick perverted, I'm not going to say sick perverted because I actually want you guys to subscribe. For those of you who want to see those GIFs or pictures, I'd probably just type in Nikki Bella wardrobe malfunction, because I believe there was one. I knew if there was going to be a brawl, then obviously there was going to be one. So yeah, I think it was like the ass shit or whatever. So you guys go ahead, go jack off, masturbate, and go watch some porn. I don't give a fuck. Subscribe first and then leave. And then, yeah, so Nikki starts beating on Brie, throws her heels at her, starts pulling her hair, beating her down, whatever. And then she walks away. And it took, I believe, 7 referees and Jerry the King Lawler to get Nikki off of Brie. Because you knew Brie, I think you would have known Brie wouldn't have fought back. But then you see Brie crying, and it was kind of half and half. It was believable, and it was good. I'm not saying, the situation was good, but she kind of pulled it off well. Not great, but, you know me, and you know Chase. We both, we don't say something that's, we don't describe something as great, but bad. We kind of as good, not great, not bad. But anyway, afterwards was Kane and Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns. And I'm going to be honest, I was about ready to do my review after this match because I thought this was the main event. I was so used to these Raw main events being held with Seth Rollins and Kane and that kind of portions of the Authority. So I was used to that being the main event, so I thought this was the main event. Apparently it was not. We still had about 15 minutes left in the show. I was like, oh shit, there's more, sweet. Which kind of made me think, oh, this is a pretty long Raw. Woohoo! So, Roman starts by tossing Kane out of the ring and then pulling Seth into the ring immediately. Beats down on Seth, beats down on Kane, and then as Roman attempts to hit the pin on Kane after getting him up with a spear, Seth Rollins hits him with a Money in the Bank briefcase. Kane and Seth Rollins beat on Roman Reigns. They beat down Roman Reigns to the ringside, and then they pull out the concrete blocks again, and I already knew that was probably going to happen, again. But Kane puts Roman's head down into the bricks. Seth, tries for the curb stomp, but Roman Reigns moves Kane out of the way, and then uppercut, like a full-on uppercut, straight to the jaw of Seth, and then another one right to the jaw of Kane. And then Superman punch to Seth Rollins, Superman punch to Kane, and then he picks up one of those cinder blocks. And no matter how much he tried to play it off, Jerry the King Lawler got hit by this. So Roman Reigns picks up. Rollins is at the turnbuckle. Roman Reigns chucks that motherfucker towards the turnbuckle post. Rollins ducks. And the block just gets obliterated from that metal ring post. A solid chunk around this big, which is pretty big, comes flying at Jerry the King Lawler. He got hit. You could also see, the ash, the white ash on Jerry the King Lawler. Pretty sure he has a spray tan, so it was pretty noticeable. But the white, the white chalk, it was all over, Jerry the King Lawler's shoulder and arm. You could tell he got hit. He didn't go, here to make this believable. Alright. Good. Oh, man, that hurt. Yeah. I was talking in a British accent. Terrible British accent. That's why I'm jealous of Chase Glover. He's got a British accent and I don't. Anyways, then Rollins runs away. But not before Kane gets hit with a Superman punch. And then Bray Wyatt cuts one of his usual promos about John Cena. Then Los Matadores beats Slater Gator. I wasn't very interested in that match. Kofi Kingston and Bo Dallas. Apparently Bo Dallas beat Kofi Kingston. I didn't know that. I wasn't interested in that match either. And then apparently next week on Raw, Chris Jericho's highlight reel will feature Randy Orton. I believe that means that it will be a Randy Orton versus Chris Jericho match at Night of Champions. And that'll probably be Chris Jericho's final match before he goes back off on his tour with his band Fozzy. So anyway, afterwards we have John Cena versus Bray Wyatt. And John Cena, I have never seen Bray Wyatt be this beaten down and this victimized ever. So, besides being in, as Husky Harris in NXT and in 2010, before being Bray Wyatt. But then Luke Harper and Eric Rowan get involved, and then Big Show and Mark Henry come out. So it turns out to be a Big Show and Mark Henry and John Cena versus the Wyatt family. And John Cena beats, I believe it was Bray Wyatt with the AA. And then he hit Eric Rowan with the AA, then Luke Harper with the AA. He pinned Bray Wyatt, but then after the bell hit Eric Rowan and Luke Harper with the AA. And then yeah, that's pretty much like John Cena saying, "Fuck you, Brock Lesnar, Sean, Rick. Guess what? You fucking wrong." Which makes me kind of think, John Cena may actually pull it out. And this is one of the times where it's great. Now my voice is starting to crack. So, sorry, I'm tired. Anyway, that's, as much as I don't really want to say it, I kind of actually do. But I feel like John Cena actually has a chance against Brock Lesnar at Night of Champions. And it feels like a very interesting pair-up. With the, I'm going to rip your face off versus I'm going to kick your ass. Those kind of mentalities at Night of Champions. And, that would have made it much more interesting at SummerSlam than at Night of Champions. But, anyway, that was my review. Yeah, normally my Raw reviews are way longer, mostly as long as Chase's USW reviews. My SmackDown reviews are mostly spoilers now, so they're more like 4 or 5 minutes. These are like 25, 30 minutes around there. Maybe longer, maybe shorter, I don't know. But that was the thing. Now, everyone, if you've made it to this part of the video, subscribe right now. Also, leave a question in the comment box below. I will answer it on a question and answer video. Because I'm sick of getting shit from my Twitter fan page. Because then I have to go scroll. Tired of just looking through awful, terrible, pointless bullshit questions. So, YouTube comments would be a lot easier. So, leave that comment. Also, check out Dalyxman's channel. I'll leave a link to his... Well, no, I won't leave a link to his channel. All you have to do is type in, go to your search bar, type in Dalyxman, but not before you hit subscribe. So, anyway, guys, thank you for watching. That was my review on the August 25th, 2014 edition of WWE Monday Night Raw. Remember, guys, to like, favorite, and subscribe for more. I'm Zach Hardy, signing off.